How to be the master of your mind. Welcome back to another video, guys. Today I want to talk about exactly that. How to be the master of your mind, how to be the captain of your ship, how to use your mind before your mind uses you. Because our mind is just a program that's running. And if we aren't conscious that it's a program, that we are not our minds, then we get caught up in being the slave of our mind. We become a slave to our mind and therefore a slave to our reality. And that doesn't have to be the case. Most people don't realize that their mind is not them. And their mind is just an automatic autopilot program that's picked up different thoughts, beliefs, programmings, and patterns throughout your life, most of which when you are unconscious. Now, to be the master of your mind, we must take a process that was created unconsciously and take conscious control over it. Now, how do we do that? We do this by a process called self-inquiry. This is something that I talk about in a lot of my videos because it's something that profoundly changed my life. And it's a process of challenging our thoughts and beliefs and our patterns. We create this mind, this belief system, this identity through unconscious behaviors, patterns, and things that mostly happened to us before we had the wherewithal to really understand ourselves. That was a bee that just flew in front of me. And those are some birds. I apologize, I'm outside today, so we have to deal with the elements outside. But we pick up all of these different belief systems, usually at a time where our mind is not fully developed, our thinking skills are not fully developed. And what happens is we grow up, we become older and wiser, but we don't change our belief system. We don't change our thought patterns that were created when we were a lot younger. And I believe it is our duty as we become older, it is our responsibility to change our belief system, to, I'm going to say the word upgrade because it is upgrading to your current life. And that's why we have a lot of people who consciously know what they want. They consciously know they want to be successful or what they need to work on, or they have goals that they want to go towards. But it's their mind, it's those subconscious, unconscious patternings that really keep them back. And I think a lot of people fall into this depression because part of you really wants something, or really wants this goal, or really wants to be successful, and it knows exactly what it needs to get there. But this other part of you, the part that you can't control, is in direct conflict. It is clashing with this side of you. And that part keeps you back, and you have no idea how to be in control of it because it's largely an unconscious, subconscious program that's really running the show. And this is why a lot of people don't get to the goals. This is why a lot of people fall into depression. I'm speaking from experience. This is definitely something I felt with, to the point where I had a spiritual awakening, actually, because these two parts of me were clashing so hard. This part of me that wanted to be successful, that wanted to grow so badly, had big dreams, knew I had potential, and then this other part of me that's just holding me back. And it was like the more I fought against this, the harder it was. Anyways, that's a story for a different time. But now what our job is as adults, as people stepping into their true power, people who want to cultivate and develop their potential, it is our job to challenge every single thought and belief that comes up. I'm going to say that again. We have to challenge every single thought and belief that comes up. Why? Because the majority of our thoughts and beliefs were created from times when we were not either fully developed and times where we weren't living in our true power. As beings, as conscious beings who want to step into our true power, we have to upgrade our beliefs, we have to upgrade our thoughts, and we do that by challenging the ones that don't work. How do we do that? Well, the first requirement is to become observant, to become present. We have to stop living life on autopilot and start being the conscious observer of our mind. And once you become really good at this, you can start doing it not only in meditation, but in real life. As you go about your life, you observe what's going on from a deeper place. You observe the mind, and that's when you become aware that you are not the mind. Because who's the one observing the mind? That's who you are. You're the observer. The first step, again, is the requirement of being present throughout your day and observing your mind, observing your emotions, not reacting to what your mind is telling you, not reacting to what's going on around you, but just be the observer. Another way you can do this is take your everyday emotional triggers, the things that just set you off, take those as reminders to observe. Whenever you feel some kind of pain or something just really triggering you, instead of reacting to it like you normally would, take that as a reminder to observe and simply see what's going on. The second step is once we are able to get to a point where we can observe our thoughts, then we need to trace them back to a belief. You see life through a filter of your beliefs. You don't see life objectively, you see life subjectively through your mind, through your beliefs. So if you're able to, you can trace your thought back to a belief. You do this by just asking why. Asking your thought why. So you keep asking why until you get to the deeper layer, the deeper thought or belief that's really holding this surface level thought or belief. Third step, and this is the most important step, is challenging. This is what I alluded to at the very beginning. It's a process of challenging every single thing that comes through your mind. How you can challenge is simply by asking questions. Asking, is it true? A lot of times we just have these thoughts, we just automatically assume that it's true. Just because you're having a thought doesn't mean it's true. Let's say I'm having trouble with dating and I'm having trouble with women. And let's say I isolated this thought because, I'm being observant of my thoughts. And now I'm able to observe that there's just a repeated thought that I'm not good with women. Let's challenge it. Let's ask, is it true? My immediate knee-jerk response is going to be yes, of course. Look at all the proof I have of all the times I messed up with women or all the women that don't want me. Okay, let's take a second and let's ask, are you absolutely sure? Can you absolutely know for certain that that's true? The answer might be yes, but most likely it's no. Because it's very rare that you can absolutely know something. And what happens, even if it's not an immediate release of this thought or this belief, what happens is you're shaking them up, you're loosening them up a little bit. Your beliefs about yourself, about life, start loosening up. And as you go through life, as you continue to live life from the perspective of being an observer and a challenger, then eventually your outdated beliefs and thoughts go away because you'll see them for what they are, outdated beliefs and thoughts. And you'll start consciously picking up new thoughts and new belief systems along the way, especially if you're on your personal growth journey and you're becoming a conscious observer of your life, and you know that you want to pick up better beliefs anyways. Don't force it because most of the work is simply observing your thoughts and challenging them. You don't have to force an answer, but just get in the habit of constantly challenging every thought and emotion and belief that you have. And that's how you become the master of your mind. That's how you take control of your mind. And what happens is when you're consciously taking control of the unconscious, you become the captain of the ship. You are the one giving your mind orders, not the other way around. You stop becoming a slave to your mind and you start being in control of your mind. And what happens when you start being in control of your mind is you become in control of your reality. You feel empowered. You're no longer a victim. You're no longer a slave. You are in control, and that's when life gets pretty cool. If this video brought you value, please give it a like. Please hit the subscribe button. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.